Welcome to Coffee and Tarot with Mama T. My name is Teresa, and I'm welcoming my Libra friends in for their reading for October 13th through the 16th. And we'll start off by welcoming in Spirit, and I will introduce the decks and the layout that I've got while I'm talking about the astrology that's going on with the week and getting the cards shuffled. I'm not going to mess around with switching the camera around too much. Once I've got everything all laid out, I will turn it around so that you can see what the layout looks like. But first of all, we're going to start with the Forest of Enchantment Oracle. And this is going to be the center card of your reading. I just like the fact that it's got a little door in the middle, and I want to open that door and see what's the week has in store for you. So that will be the main question that will be answered in the middle. So what does this week have in store for me? And then and this is the Forest of Enchantment Oracle. That's what it looks like. And then I will also be using the Forest of Enchantment Tarot to go with it to answer a couple of additional questions. What is the gift from the universe? That will be the first one. And then the second question will be, what do I have to empty my hands of in order to receive this gift? So a lot of times if our hands are too full, or our schedule's too full, or our minds are too full, then there's no room for Spirit to be able to give us the blessings that they want to give to us. And so what do we have to let go of in order to receive the gift? Then the final deck that we'll be using is the Cosma Visions Oracle. I've had my eyes on this for a while, and I finally decided to get it. This is the first time I'm using it in a reading. It can almost be used as a tarot deck. It's got these pretty bluish, rainbowy edges, and the backs are just so pretty. It could almost be used as a tarot deck, but it's just different enough from tarot to, qualify as more of an oracle than tarot. So we'll be using that to answer the questions. How will I approach this letting go? What help is available in this letting go process? And what is the advice or support from Spirit? Those are the questions we'll be asking of these decks. I'm going to shuffle them while I kind of share some of the information that I looked up on the astrology that we'll be dealing with this week. We are starting the week with Moon conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, which is forming a grand trine with Mars in Scorpio and Saturn in Pisces. Emotional self-examination, deep conversations, and taking action are all encouraged with this sort of an aspect. Meditation and reflection are also favored, but you need to avoid ruminating over anything that qualifies as not my circus and not my monkeys. You might be tempted to worry about global events during this aspect, but that can lead to a sense of hopelessness. So do take good care of yourself. This trine is a reminder to recalibrate. And today in particular is a great day for a relaxing bath or any sort of self-care. Okay, the biggest shift this week is Venus entering your sign, Libra, which is one of its home signs, and that's happening today. And it's always good to have your ruling planet within your sign. It's always a benefit. It is creating a kite formation with Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries, and Uranus in Gemini, which all of this has the effect of highlighting relationships. Saturn can add sort of a somber tone that may leave us feeling left out. So the Sun and Venus in Libra, let that exalt the themes of harmony and inclusion. Watch for anybody who is feeling on the outskirts and invite them in. If you're feeling like you're left out, invite yourself in. And because of the that the Venus in Libra kind of air around all of us, people will be, they'll be amenable to that. They will, if you invite yourself in, they'll be like, oh yeah, of course, you're welcome. So with Pluto and Uranus in the mix, the best use of your energy is to try something different and creative rather than falling into any sort of self-pity. Without abandoning your own values, you need to acknowledge that others are living in their own priorities just as you do, and give them the space to do that. And having discussions about the differences where you are, where your priorities are different from the people around you. If you have discussions about this, I'm having a hard time shuffling here. If you are having a discussion about that, it can be really illuminating and can help you both to grow. Now, October 19th, at the end of the week, Mercury and Mars are going to form a conjunction in the sign of Scorpio, which is going to create another grand trine in the sky with Jupiter and Saturn. Those aspects support attention to, they support determination and focus, which I'm really looking forward to, and the unusual capacity for both big picture thinking and attention to detail. It's not often that we can have access to both of those ways of thinking, but we should have that on the 19th. It's an excellent time to start a business plan, write, or create any social media content. So keep in mind that while Saturn encourages discernment, it can also encourage and awaken that internal critic. So when you find yourself noticing the inevitable problems with things, there always are some, be sure that you come to the conversation either with yourself or with others with solutions and kindness. Now, during this grand trine, the sun in Libra is opposing Chiron. And so we may also have, just about lost some cards here. We may also have old wounds resurfacing at this time. And that will create opportunities for healing and growth. The key this week is really to focus in on what you can actually change without assuming any responsibility for others. Just stay in your own lane, and invite harmony, invite inclusion, all of that good Libra energy in, because with Venus in Libra, it's going to be expanding all of that. Okay, so we have our cards laid out now. Let me go ahead and pause this so that you can see what it looks like, and then we will flip them over. Okay, so here we have our spread with the questions underneath each of the cards. I've got everything all laid out. I haven't looked at the cards yet, just drew them while we were talking. And now we will flip them over and talk about what we find. Okay, so that took a little longer to get started than I thought. But let's go ahead and just jump right in. The first card, the gift from the universe. Actually, no, I wanted to open the door. We're going to open the door first. What does this week have in store for me? And the card that we get behind the door is the Froggy Grotto. It's funny, I was looking at this deck earlier today when I was selecting which decks to read from, and I looked specifically at this card, and even after shuffling, this is what comes up. Okay, so the Froggy Grotto. The thing about the Froggy Grotto is that these frogs love nothing more than to gossip. There is just this cacophony of sound around them. They can't tolerate any moment of silence. There is no silence. There's just constant chatter. They've got an opinion and commentary on every little thing that is happening around them in the forest. And that might be what you're encountering in the world this week. There's going to be an opinion and chatter and commentary everywhere in social media, in the people around you, just like we were talking about in the astrology. There's going to be, a lot of discussion about, people's values, what they're doing, the things they're focusing on, and you'll need to really center in on your own stuff and try to find those moments of silence, even though the froggy grotto around you is going to be there to fill every moment of silence if you allow it. So you need to carve out those moments of silence so you can hear yourself and spirit speak to you. Then the gift from the universe that you get. Oh my God, you get the best card in this whole deck. This is the best card, my favorite card, one of my favorite cards out of all of my decks that I have. This is the King of Pentacles, but he's more than a King of Pentacles. In this particular deck, he's a wizard. He's retreated to his cave. He is warm and inviting and generous. He's willing to show you the secrets of the magic that he knows how to work. He has his friend, the Hermit, here with him. This is the Hermit character in this particular deck. He's got the Hermit with him, so he knows all about those moments of silence that you're going to desperately need this week. So there's no secret why Spirit gave you this card as your gift, is you're going to need that. Not only is he the King of Pentacles, and he is like the master of the earth realm, and he is also, he's got all that leadership and entrepreneurial mastery, and that generosity of spirit. But he also, within this card, he has all 4 aces are within this card. He holds the keys to all of these suits. They are all there with him. He has the Ace of Fire right here, or maybe no. The Ace of Fire is probably, I don't know, I don't remember which all of them are, but he has all of them. I'll have to look up all of the aces so I can kind of point that out. But I'm going to pause and do that right now. Okay, so in the aces that he has here, he's got this arrowhead from the arrow for the Ace of Challenges. He has this wand, this magic wand for the Ace of Spells in this particular deck. He has the this ring that he's wearing is from the Ace of Boons, and which is the coins. And then he has this cup that is the Ace of, what do they call it in this one? Visions. Oh, and also this necklace is what the Ace of Visions was wearing. This amulet was wearing on her neck. It's a swan in the Ace of Visions. So he's got all of the aces there with him, which means all of the opportunities coming into you this week. You got the grand poobah of gifts from the universe from this deck. I love that. And I'm jealous. Okay, so what do I have to empty my hands of in order to receive this gift? And you get the Forge. Now, the Forge is a temperance card, and Temperance is, a card of alchemy. In this particular deck, it has all of the elements. So I guess in order to let go, maybe empty your hands in order to receive the gift from the universe. I think maybe what you need to let go of is a sense of responsibility for all of the things. Because this has all of the elements in this particular deck. They're all featured and all necessary, and they all have to be in the right balance, which is normally a good thing, and you would normally not want to let go of those things. But maybe there's that sense of responsibility for creating that kind of an environment that you need to let go of in order to receive the gifts from the universe. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. How will you approach this letting go, and what help is available? The card that you get is the Mender card. And the Mender card in this particular deck, I'll read this real quick because this is, like I said, a new deck for me. The Mender, this is a sense of compassion, calm, and comfort. The Mender has a comforting presence that imbues those around them with a state of calm. In a reading, it's a very positive sign of restoration and reflection. Through the Mender's compassion, they have the ability to heal, even without intentionally doing so. A lot can be learned from the Mender on being soft, compassionate, and kind. If you feel as if you've been too rough lately, the Mender may show itself as a reminder to embrace the softer side of yourself. So I think combined with, the things I was talking about with the astrology this week, this is the way you'll approach the letting go that you need to let go of is by, focusing in on yourself, taking good care of yourself, and treating yourself and others with compassion, calm, and comfort. The advice or support from Spirit that you get, well, it's probably more advice to avoid, something to avoid. This is the Nine of Birds, which would be like the Nine of Swords. So let me show you that in the Rider-Waite deck. The Nine of Swords is it's called the Never-Ending Nightmare card. This is a card of, this person is trapped in this never-ending nightmare, but the solution is you get out of bed. All you need to do is let go of it and, apply this compassion lens with things and, let go of all of the things. You just need to avoid all of that anxiety. At the beginning, when I was talking about the astrology and saying that you need to avoid any rumination over the things that you don't have control over, that is what Spirit is giving, the advice Spirit is giving to you is don't be caught up in this, sense of worry and stress and anxiety over things that you can't control. And in this book, let me see what it says here. It says, if you're not clear of mind, then lower your weapons and take a calmer approach when you're ready. There is no shame in retreating until another day. So there you go. That is your reading for the week of October 13th through the 19th. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with other people that you think it may resonate with. And I'd love to hear any comments that you have. Write them down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. That way I'll show up in your YouTube feed when I produce new content. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye now.